Shockingly. I'm Sabrina. You can find me at VoidCat Gaming on Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram. And if you want to join us, we're also doing a Stargate Atlantis watch through because I'm excited about Stargate Atlantis.
And I'm Michael. You can find me at Twitter on Twitter at Blue Beetle Games.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan. You can find me at Just Average J everywhere on social media and Twitch.
Hi, I'm Keith Justice. You can find me on Twitter at Keith Hayward. Yeah, that's it.
So you said everywhere, Jay. So do you have a Tumblr that's Just Average Jay?
Yeah, I sure do, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit?
Wait, actually? Nice.
I actually do have
cool.
a Tumblr. Yeah.
What do you post on your Tumblr, Jay?
It's usually just reposts from Instagram. Like, I have Instagram tied to Tumblr, so whatever's on Instagram just goes.
Respect.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm old school like that.
Yeah.
I even have a Friendster. Just kidding, I don't.
I still remember my ICQ number, so.
Oh,
I just looked up on my MySpace today, so.
That's old school.
Yikes. ICQ, though.
Wow.
I can never figure out what Tumblr was for.
Yeah, same here.
Tumblr is for teenagers. That's what Tumblr is for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I have no idea what I'm doing on it. I just do.
I roleplayed on Tumblr. It was real weird. All right. Today is gonna go a little weird. I think we're all feeling a little weird. Being trapped in our houses does that. But
World is
whatever.
Weird.
Picard creates feelings. Let's have some feelings together. We're gonna talk about episode 10 at in Arcadia Ego Part 2. We'll talk about the overall stuff next week. But let me say today, this is gonna get all wonky. So Jay, if you have a thought, just say it. Don't worry about us touching on it later on in the episode because I might forget.
Okay, sounds good.
Don't worry about the order.
Okay.
But let's start at the beginning anyway. The Borg cube is found by Narek, and XBs don't have a home and don't belong anywhere. You guys. Okay, so Narek goes to the Borg cube, sneaks in, and then finds his sister, who it turns out was still hiding aboard the Borg cube.
So,
and yeah.
What, XB's not belonging anywhere? My note on that is that I feel like they kind of Last Jedi'd 7 of 9, because all throughout Voyager, we got to see her grow with the family and feel like where she belonged, and she had gained and worked for so much to snap your fingers. Now she doesn't have anybody, and life sucks, and like everything that she had grown up through is just gone.
When Hugh first showed up, we mentioned Naomi. Yeah. Indeed, what happened to Naomi?
So,
I think it's, I found it kind of ironic that when she was, the Borg queen in the queen cell, and she saw everything, right? And that's how she knew where Picard was. She didn't see that there was Romulan on the ship.
Well, she can't see everything, just almost everything.
Pretty sure she said everything. But
yeah, but you
whatever.
think everything on the Borg cube would be part of her everything. I guess if she can only see through the eyes of other Borg and all of them have been vacuumed into space.
That's a good call, yeah, maybe.
I always thought that, through Borg, you could see through every bit of circuitry itself. And maybe
I
that's
kind
how
of
she
thought
knew,
so too.
Maybe that's how she knew where to find her, to beat her down and get revenge for Hugh. Maybe that's how that happened.
Yeah, because
even though
detectors.
that scene was pretty cool. When she was like, "This is for Hugh," and she did, what was it, the 300
just
kick?
Boots her off.
It's like the 300 kick. We're like, "This is Sparta."
This is Sparta.
It seemed to echo. This is for Hugh, 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 Hugh.
No.
But
man,
yeah, I overall. Oh wait, I'll let the captain you go.
It's already got a monkey. What are you talking about?
Okay.
We didn't even talk about our general feelings.
Feelings
about the episode?
General feelings. I liked the episode and had nothing but complaints all the way through it. But still, it was kind of like finally letting go and, hey, Picard, you guys are having a good time. And then, at the end, it did hit, a really good, genuine moment of, happy, sad. So I'm just gonna let go of all the shit that I'm like, what I want them to do. But let's just see what happens. So.
Oh, you're leaving me behind, Keith. I see. Okay.
No, I'm with you.
I cried.
When we go step by step, I'll be crapping on a lot of things. But
I cried a lot.
But overall, it made you feel good. I mean, that's what
I'll say yes.
That's one of the things we want. Listen, art is about the person interacting with it being able to like release emotion. So if it did that,
there's an overall good to all these things that like it's fun to crap on and critique.
yeah. I mean, I will talk shit about Stargate Atlantis all day. That doesn't mean I don't love it.
Yeah.
And Star Trek and Star Wars and okay. I can't focus. I'm so sorry. All right.
No. I think you're right. Like, there's like I think a thing that people forgot when like you watch science fiction, which is to take the piss out of it when it has it coming and be okay with that. Because I remember like, sorry, I keep on going back to Star Wars conversation, but like there was this overall feel like I really wish you guys see in my wall at the time where don't you dare say anything bad about this Star Wars. You don't deserve it.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait. I don't think that's how things were. And then I was going through Stargate again. Like the reason I went back there was to re-explore why I like watching this kind of thing. And then, like, since no one cares, then I was like, what is this bullshit? And then it was fun to like shit on it and make fun of it for its shortcomings, and then see that earns my respect over time. And yeah, so taking it out of things is part of the love of art, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I have to.
Michael, how do you feel?
I was going to say I have to thank you, Sabrina and Keith, because you made me like look at the critical parts of the episode, but overall I still enjoyed it. So you're lucky.
You can do both.
Yes,
that's excellent.
I came away with like you know what, that was pretty good. I like that. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Nice. Jay?
Like I said, I cried a lot. It was a fitting end to that kind of story arc, and it was I actually, it kind of brought me back to where I started, if that makes sense. Like I started and was super excited and super what's that word? Just I was excited about it, and it was one of those things where I was hoping that it would live up to what I was hoping, and then I guess anticipation, and then throughout this whole ride, especially with Sabrina and Keith on in the seats next to us, we have
to think too hard about this wing.
The hater seats
make us think.
Yeah, but yes.
Hey.
So I got a little more critical, during this season. But this episode kind of brought everything back, and it was really sweet because, there's this finale of Data, which actually was a beautiful scene in itself because technically, he by all rights should not have gotten to say goodbye to Data again. You know what I'm saying? So that was beautiful. Also, at the very end, we get him and his new crew. Yeah. We see everyone in the ship, and I mean it's this kind of like beautiful like symmetry of like the story, there's some things that I love, some things that I didn't like, but at the end of it, this brought me back, and I'm just like, I'm in, and so, the next season's going to be so good.
So Jay basically said everything I said, only said it much better. So that's what I mean.
I see.
That's what Jay. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay, on all that. That's great.
If there's going to be a next season.
Shut up.
Oh, please. Yeah, don't even. How dare you?
I say not what I want. I say what I think might happen.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Well, it was certainly, it was an open setup where they're like, we don't know if we're going to keep going, but we have an opening if we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely had a feeling that that's what was going to happen. Like, we were going to see all in on this episode as if it was the last episode.
Yeah.
But do you have like do you have the scene by scene notes, or do we just want to go down our list of notes?
Yeah. What, you're not interested in what I think about the episode?
Sabrina,
that actually, I was like,
we already know.
I was kind of hoping we could like
just
skirt past that.
Oh, you already know? Okay, what am I going to say, Jay?
You're going to be critical.
Yes, Sabrina.
You're going to be overly critical about something, and then we're going to say, I wish you wouldn't have brought that up, but you're right. And then, no.
I want to hear the things.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, let me say this. Okay, fine. Here's the overly critical thing I will be overly critical about, and it's a writing convention. I always make fun of Joss Whedon because I'm like, why do you got to kill something in every script, man? Mm-hmm. It's a cheap way to get to people's emotions. Mm-hmm. And then I complain about Marvel movies doing this, where there's like, in every Marvel movie, like in Iron Man 2, there's that scene where like, oh, maybe Pepper will die. Oh, J.K. Pepper Potts has like transformed instead, right? Where I was like, all right, you guys like faked that death so that people would cry, and then he came back.
Yep.
I had a couple of complaints about the way that the plot itself ended, and a thing right at the end that I'll talk about right at the end. But overall, listen, TNG season 1 is not good.
No,
I don't know about that.
Okay, whatever. Fandom in general is like TNG season 1 is not good.
Agreed.
What do they call it?
Enterprise season 1,
yeah.
not great. Voyager season 1, not great. So
Don't they
I didn't
count-
super enjoy Picard
Yeah.
season 1. Hold on.
Sorry.
I didn't super enjoy Picard season 1. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the arc of the way they finished that story. There's a difference between a beacon and a teleporter, you know. But since that, it feels like the whole season was like an intro for the different characters and the relationships that they supposedly had. I don't feel like they were really built very strongly, but like we know where they're at now, you know, like Rios and Girardi have that thing. I guess Girardi is officially the Doctor now, even though like I complained about that before, but whatever. But I feel like the crew that they've assembled at the end is solid, so I'm excited about season 2. I'm just like, all right, I didn't like the arc of season 1, maybe I'll like the arc of season 2 better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that the TNG, don't they really consider it starting when Riker got the sideburns?
The beard?
Like he got facial hair?
The beard.
That's
The Riker
like,
beard.
that. Yeah, the beard
Yeah,
is
season
kind of
2.
what, yeah, that's kind of what sets TNG. That's when TNG really started, right?
Yeah.
Pre-beard,
Yeah, okay.
post-beard.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're kind of hoping that in like the timeline where this does keep going, that this is like the bad first season that allows them to learn all the lessons they should be learning, and then next season, oh my god.
Well, if this is the bad first
Agnes
season,
grows a beard.
then I'm on board because this was not that
Yeah.
bad.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say it was
There
that
have
bad.
certainly been worse first seasons.
Oh, heck yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's talk about the plot now. All right, the siblings reunite. Have you fucked any of them? None. Did you kill any? One. Aha, progress, brother.
I burst out laughing when that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about your relationship with your siblings, but I do not talk to my brother like that.
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
No.
That is the
Awkward.
opposite of how I interact with my sister.
Right.
And then, yeah, for real. And then Narek, it's cute. Narek's like, I brought some grenades for the flowers. All right. And he described himself as the family disgrace, which is just adorable. Okay, all right.
Out of nowhere.
Okay.
Right?
Just-
Like,
Me, the family disgrace, the washout of the Zadvash. I was like, oh, okay.
are we finding out? Did we find out right then when he said that he is a washout at all?
That's the first time. Yep.
Okay, because as far as I knew, he was Zatvash at
Narek's
core.
character is like wild. I'm just like, what's. Yeah, because at the beginning he was super like, oh, I'm the king of this castle, you know, like he tells the commander around, except his sister was also super bossy to him. And we're just like, wait, what's going on with this relationship? But he seemed to have power, but then he didn't. I guess at the end, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Narek. He's Soji's love interest. That's all I know.
Yep.
He's
It's all
dashing, sort of, until the plot doesn't need him anymore.
Yeah. But I think he'll pop up in season 2 if it exists.
For the
Let's just
record-
assume it's going to exist.
For the record, I like the incest twins. They're fun. They're trash. They're
fun
offensive.
trash.
Yep, they're fun. They're trash. They're offensive, and just like I kind of like go. They kind of make me giggle. Like, you guys really did this? It's Star Trek. They're like, yep, and they just rub it in your faces. They don't like apologize for it. So that part I actually kind of find fun.
I actually never looked at it that way, Keith. I might have to come around to that point of view.
Like,
The fun trash.
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, you can't do that in Star Trek. They're like, every episode we're gonna do it.
It's like,
Challenge
Does it
accepted.
bother you?
what's that thing? Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. I mean, okay, listen. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. There's one documentary series that's really, really, really popular right now called Tiger King.
Yeah.
It's been everywhere. Yeah, I
And
haven't
it's
seen
about
it yet.
three different like people who run tiger sanctuaries that are running cults.
Oh my god.
They're all like weird cults, and all of
Jeez.
these people are very sketchy people, and like none of them are
Jeez.
right. They're all really problematic, and it's super popular right now
That's
because they're all
crazy.
trash people, and you're just like, what is this trash fire?
It's crazy.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So we have the trash siblings. It's cool. Everybody's gonna be glued to the screen. Like, what is happening in here?
Yeah, it's a funny thing in Star Trek because nobody asked for it. Ever. Front and center, in your faces.
Oh, yeah.
Look at them.
Trash
yeah.
siblings.
They're
Oh,
almost
yeah.
kissing every episode.
And you
What
want
are
to
you
know,
gonna do
like,
about it?
the worst.
Well,
Yeah.
one of them's dead now, so I guess
I
we're
know.
gonna do that about it.
The worst
Is
part
she,
is,
though?
and not the worst part. I guess the best part is they're both really, really good looking. So it's like,
Yeah.
huh, whoa,
Yeah.
huh.
Hey,
It
as
kind
long
of
as
like
you guys
makes
do it in fiction, you guys do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, this one. All right.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No
Princess
comments.
Twins, they're fun. They're funny.
Well,
like
I
them.
mean, what I'm saying is they're both really attractive, and you know that they're just actors, so you know they're not true siblings, so you're not
Okay,
really
okay,
grossed
okay.
out.
Right, we
is
got
what
off
I'm
on
saying.
a weird tangent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was still pretty grossed out in Game of Thrones, and they're both really pretty too.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're supposed to be
I guess
grossed
you're-
out.
Well, but the thing is, they actually did something in Game of Thrones.
Don't
And
be
this
the
they
thing
didn't.
is. Don't be.
Oh,
No.
okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Bad guys do
You
bad
know you
things.
can't take me
Anyway.
anywhere, Sabrina. It's sorry.
All right.
Anyway,
Moving on.
That's it for the incest twins.
The
But,
thing-
Sorry, the thing I forgot
don't
to
think-
say way
the
back.
thing is, just kidding.
For the sister though, she's now Schrodinger's dead sister though. We don't know. if she's
Schrodinger's dead sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because whenever they kill someone off screen, they're not really dead.
You didn't see a body.
We didn't see a body. Yeah, exactly.
I keep thinking about.
I have a question, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, what were you thinking about?
I keep thinking about how she this is Sparta kicked her off, right?
Yeah.
And I just keep thinking about Luke Skywalker going down that tube and then popping out the bottom, and then the Millennium Falcon. So the Millennium Falcon is just going to come up and like rescue her. Be like, here you go.
To me, she always strikes. She struck me as a
But a
person who
Romulan
has a.
warlord, yeah.
Yeah.
She strikes me as a person who has a grappling hook in her wrist.
Yeah, but
Okay.
just Spider-Man's out of there.
Yeah. There you go.
Or like Cleopatra 25. Deep cut.
But on a serious note,
Yes.
there was that thing that I talked about earlier about the XPs not having a home, not belonging anywhere. So I was talking to you guys about thematic stuff before. So the Borg are the refugees now instead of the Romulans because now the Romulans are the bad guys. Is that not weird? Like the Romulans are suddenly just like fine. Like all mention of the Romulans just like the world being destroyed and them being refugees is kind of like nothing by the end of the series. Like it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the Borg are the refugees instead. I just wanted to point that out. That's weird. Like it just
Yeah.
swapped which species was the refugees
Yeah.
like halfway.
because
It is
they
weird.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't seem to get it. I think they're bouncing back and forth between how the Romulan Star Empire was like probably like I saw videos. Sorry. That bigger than the Federation, so that if they got hit by like even like 2 planets or 1, they would be fine. But you know they have their fictional muddled up.
Interesting.
And then,
Sure. I mean, they wrote the whole thing before like fan reactions started coming out, so I think that's probably something that they would have been aware of. What I felt was more likely was that they had like themes in mind for the show, but those themes weren't attached to specific things. So it was just like generally there are refugees, whereas typically you'd be like the XPs are the representatives of the refugees, you know? Because I
Okay.
said before, like the characters were kind of sharing themes too.
yeah, and then weirdly and ultimately the XBs didn't amount to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a reason why like they called the artifact. So it sounds like oh shit, what's going on over here? And they got like one of the rarest AIs in the galaxy on it. Oh my god! So there's a connection, right? And then ultimately it only served the purpose of making sure that all the characters showed up at one planet at the same time, and that was it.
Yeah. That was
That's it.
disappointing. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Seven had something against Narissa.
Yeah, it gave her another revenge plot.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of the scenes are just like, this is to set up the explanation for why a character behaves a certain way later.
Yeah, I definitely got the feeling of, and I heard from a friend who does writing in Hollywood, and this is how most things are, Keith, and you're just not noticing it. Like, they're making everything up as they go along. So as the next day came, they're like, oh, fuck, we got to get them to this one planet. And then, oh, let's just say that this, and then... yeah, that's what I felt going on.
But if you're going to write one season as, like, a singular story, you should write the story.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just don't know what schedule... Yeah, from what I feel might be going on is the corporatization of these kind of things, where...
'Cause that's certainly how you would write an episodic show. It's just, like, per episode.
Yeah, and then they've given a short amount of time to crank out this product, and that doesn't give them as much time as maybe like when normal Star Wars took maybe 3 years between movies, and they had a lot of time with creating out the story. Whereas this one, they're like, you gotta make another movie right now, and
We need one every Christmas.
Yeah.
yep, and making that story as you go along, you just things start to quickly not make sense. That's what I saw, at least.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's written backwards still, but I can see where you're coming from.
Like, how written backwards from how? Because I guess
Like, they knew how they wanted it to end, and then they were like, okay, how are we going to get this person here? How are we going to get this person here? How are we going to get this person here?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the writing itself, then. I feel like I just made everyone sad.
And I feel like I talked too much, and maybe like we were supposed to do like a round table of like, what do everyone think about this one scene?
What are round tables? I don't know. Just if you have something to say, just say it.
Amen.
Does anybody have anything else to say about that before I move on?
Yes. I apologize for since this is like the last episode for Picard. I'm just gonna take out all my nitpicking. It's gonna keep working the ribs.
Okay.
I didn't like that 7 of 9 said, "Put a phaser to my head, and get it over with," and just like a phaser is now just a gun, Like where in my TNG era, it was a tool that you could use as a weapon, but also as this and that, and it was just like a elegant device. And now it's just a gun to put to your head. Anyway,
In TOS, they use it to heat up a rock.
so
People don't freeze to death.
cool. It's a multi-purpose tool.
Multi-purpose.
That can be a weapon.
Also, phasers on stun, everyone. Okay. There's a conversation. Picard sees one of the butterflies. Very cute. And then Soji comes in, and she says, try to see this from our point of view. We have no choice. And he says, to say we have no choice is a failure of imagination. And I just want to point out that this is the show saying that we should have a revolution. Let's have a revolution, everyone. It's time. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go right now. Okay. Star Trek is pro-revolution. If you didn't know that from the Bell Riots, okay. I'm not trying to push for anything.
So, Mike, what'd you think of Picard saying?
What do you think about having a revolution, Mike?
If Picard was lenient, I'd be sure. I'd be like, why not?
Oh, yeah, for real. If Picard showed up and he was like, we gotta just have a revolution, I'd be like, all right.
Be like,
Let's go.
yes, let's do it.
Let's go.
Can I ride your ship, sir?
Can you be my granddaddy, please?
So this scene told me, oh my god, since they're 100% dangerous and they should be put down, they aren't really creating a two sides to this, really, where, given any like length of time for her to really think this versus she spent like most of her time with lots of loving people who want to take care of her. But,
Thinking she was human.
Yeah. And then, like, the second that she finds out there's a sin, she's like, yeah, let me, like, kill all the innocent children of the galaxy. And, like, I'm totally cool with this, and I'm all in. Like, whoa, that was quick.
Murder everyone is our only option, you know?
So, I was just thinking that, like, yeah, this is, and if you keep letting these people live, I'm sorry, but you're like now leaving a 100% chance that someday each one of them has the capability, it seemed like, or I don't know how that came about where she create the portal, but the Romulans are right. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
But
you said that last week.
But see, now Picard is one of them, so I'm on the side of the synths now, so...
See, you're supposed to think of the synths as being just the same as humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, they're worth the same as humans. So it would be unfair. But, like,
even
if
if they were
humans were
human.
like, we're gonna have ancient humans show up and wipe out everyone that isn't human, I would still be like, the fuck?
Yeah, if they're human,
Hold
if
on.
there's like a little group of humans that are like, hey, I have a button where I can wipe out everybody in the galaxy, LOL. And I'm like, that's not funny. You guys got to go.
Well, so obviously we're going to get to this later, but I want to
What did I just say? What did I say?
No,
Just say it.
I know. I just, because it's making me think about it, and I want to know what that beacon was, what it transmitted, and what the hell opened in the sky.
Right?
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I want to know so much more about what's on the other side of that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You
It
know
wasn't
what
a
I mean?
beacon.
Like-
It was like a portal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Because if it was a
like-
beacon, it would just call the aliens, and the aliens would have
Yeah.
come regardless of what they did. That was a portal. Those are two
Yeah.
very different things. A beacon suggests something scarier because the Borg, like at the very beginning of TNG, show up because Q like kicks over Picard to the Borg, and then they're
Yep.
like, "That's weird." So we're gonna go over to that quadrant and figure out what the heck that was. See,
Exactly.
because
Yep.
if it was a signal, those aliens would still be coming. But instead,
Yeah.
we rendered them moot by being like, "Oh, opening! Oh, JK, it's closed.
Yeah.
They're not a problem anymore." So
Yeah.
I'm just that
I
beacon
wanna
thing was
know, like-
something else.
The beacons and also the tentacles, and like, I want to know
The
what.
tentacles.
Like, oh man, like what? Like, part of me was like, man, no, let it through.
Yeah,
I wanna
me
see.
too.
Like, let it through.
Yep.
I want to know.
You know what it feels like? A Matrix reference.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it had the same
Yeah.
kind of like Matrix
Yeah.
vibes. I think they were
Okay.
just like, what would be scary coming out of a void? A bunch of
Yeah.
tentacles, but metal.
Void.
Techno
Void.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, I mean, straight up.
Yeah, Techno
We're afraid
Cthulhu.
of Techno Cthulhu, yeah.
Well, and
Yeah, the idea of them though, I really wish they cared, because like the idea of, hey guys, just outside the galaxy, there's a galaxy-wide wipeout event that can happen at any freaking moment. All somebody has to do is press a button. The entire galaxy should be uniting
Yeah.
and going, holy fucking shit, what? Like they shouldn't be
Season
talking smack to each
2.
other. The Romulan Star Empire and
Season 2.
Federation should be like saying, oh my fucking god, we gotta start working together, because this could be the end happening. We saw it. Yeah, don't take it seriously enough.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Romulans and Federation talking, Commodore O, or whatever the hell you're going by these days. I was like,
Commodore,
yes,
Admiral, whatever.
whatever. Yeah.
But it's
God,
funny
I
also
love
because
Riker.
Commodore is a rank in the Federation as well.
I know. So funny.
I'm surprised they use Commodore, not Commander, actually. Huh. It's been quite a while since I've looked up the Romulan ranks, so I don't know. I could just be wrong there.
I know nothing about A ranks, so they all sound correct to me.
I just know they usually have commanders and sub-commanders and then other shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
Ha. Oh, you guys, I like how the Metagel really ended up being Metagel. Like, can literally do anything. It's just like, Okay, here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing, though. Star Trek is famous for its technobabble. So give me technobabble. Don't just tell me it can do anything. Come on. Put some
Yeah.
effort in.
Yeah.
Well, are you talking about his tool, like the little
Yeah,
tool
yeah, that,
use
like,
your
magical thing.
imagination? It's like,
Omni
wait,
tool.
just use your imagination; it'll do anything. What? Hold on, wait a minute. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Why
I
don't you make it into something that can take out a fleet?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If we
Wait,
could
It
do
can
that.
do literally anything.
it kind of made a ton of ships, but wait a minute, like it was just, I don't know, it was just a little
Too magic?
a little too-
Bad writing.
Yeah,
Horrible writing.
Yeah.
They didn't care. They just didn't care.
It was
They're
great
like-
though, because they'll name this the Picard maneuver. Oh wait, that exists. That's a thing.
Oh, my God.
That was 50% awesome. 50%.
Cringe-worthy.
Cringe.
I was more
Yeah, there were-
90-10, but that's me.
There
me too.
were quite a few scenes that were very like fan servicey, and we'll talk about them. And again, I'm not saying fan service is automatically bad. They're cute. They just don't work on me the same way they work on most people. So I was kind of like, all right. But I'm sure you guys enjoyed them. Like one of them, I know Michael liked, because Michael, I re-listened to our episode from last week, and you said, if I see Riker at the head of that fleet,
Oh, yeah.
I will be very excited. I'm not going to repeat what you actually
Oh, yeah, baby.
That's right.
I loved it.
So,
I loved it.
did you do the thing?
What was it? Like, what did I say? I can't remember.
You said you would pee your pants.
Oh, I did not. I squealed like a little schoolgirl,
Yeah.
but I did not pee my pants.
Yeah.
Good.
Liar then. Lie. You're non-pants peer. And now everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Your pants are not on
Your
fire.
pants right now. No, I mean, so
We'll talk about the fleet later. I think Keith
Yeah.
has some stuff to say about that.
A few things.
I mean, but you got to admit, did you guys realize that was the Discovery Bridge?
I didn't.
No.
No,
I noticed it was disco-esque.
it was the
But-
Discovery Bridge, but with red lights.
I mean, that
basically.
makes sense. They already had the set.
Yeah, exactly. No, it totally makes sense. I'm not mad about it. I just like it. It's amazing what
It is funny though, because
changing
it's
the
supposed to be
coloring
100
can do.
years ago.
Oh, yeah. But it's amazing what just changing the coloring can do.
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
to like change your perspective. You know.
Oh, about the Rios and Rafi scene where they're figuring out how to use the metagel. I actually quite like the scene, not for the metagel, obviously, that still annoys me. But that was like the first moment that it really felt like they were friends, just like fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was actually the nicest Rios and Rafi scene.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
She says, like, somebody, I forget who says it to who, but they're just like, you don't have a soul, as a joke. And I was just like, that's how friends talk to each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I saw it too, and because I complain about everything, sorry. For me, it was kind of like not earned. Like I didn't feel it was a natural progression to get them there, but I'm glad they got there.
That's my issue with all of the relationships. Actually, is that I don't feel like there was really progress. It was just like, and now they're dating, and now they're friends, and this whatever. Which is how I feel about the Seven and Rafi thing. I was like, I have no issue with them becoming a romantic pairing, but this seems like it's the first time we've seen them in a scene together, and now they're holding hands.
I know. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, you guys showed us that Seven was interested in ladies. I have certainly no complaint about that, but
Yeah, it's like, is this the time?
The end scene?
Yeah.
The end scene.
Yeah.
Where
7 and 9, Rafi. Is this really the time you guys want to get flirty?
You know what's funny is I didn't even do, like, I was sitting here, so I
was
watched.
like,
I had to wait and watch with my wife because she was just like, I caught up on the whole season, so you're gonna wait until tonight to watch it. And I was like, no. So I basically like had to wait like a full 10 hours to watch it.
oh no.
I know. And then because I was like, honey, I'm gonna sneak upstairs. You hang out with the kiddo, and I'm gonna watch it. And I basically, speaking of the kiddo, hold on real quick. What's up, bud? Oh, okay. So we came up, and when that scene happened, don't climb up here, please, bud. Sorry. Sorry.
All good.
The dad moment. So we were watching it that evening, and my wife fell asleep like the last 15 minutes.
My mom does that.
The end happened, and then I woke her up, and I was like, honey, you gotta see the end. And when Rafi and Seven were holding hands, I was like, Elo! I was like, did you see that? I was all
Cute.
giddy. I was like all giddy.
That's cute.
Because they're two like broken characters that are kind of like
Right. I'm looking forward to the relationship developing. I just feel like it was unfair for them to be like, oh, and they're in a relationship now.
We all have to get together and watch an episode with Jay because it sounds like it'd be pure joy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah. I was excited. So I thought it was adorable. I was like, yay! They both get happiness.
Until they don't.
Exactly.
No, don't say that.
That'll in season 2. Let's not. Yeah. Yeah. Ask Stamets and Hugh. Just
Yo.
sorry.
Ah.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. Or actually,
No, I know.
queer or straight, if you find true love, one of you's gotta die. So you better watch
One of you
out.
will die.
Yeah, You don't
I
want to
mean,
get too
like-
close to that in any TV
I
show.
know.
But the thing
I
with
know.
Stamets and Hugh too is that they started the show as a couple. I was like, oh, that's going away real soon.
Yeah.
All right. People keep moving on from that. Here's an interesting thing that happened to Agnes several times in this episode. All of a sudden, Since and fucking Soon just are like, you're their mother now, to like get her to act a certain way. I'm just like, that's weird. Agnes,
Well,
you should sacrifice yourself for these things because you're their mom.
Yeah,
What?
that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I also love the fact that like it seems like everyone has forgotten what she did to Maddox.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
Just
no one's
gone.
like they're just
Gone.
like whatever. Like yeah, it was
Scot-free.
good. You're fine. You don't need to turn yourself in.
Yeah, but he was kind of a dick,
Nope.
so in the end it works
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Except we're not even sure if he was a dick, because the person says that he is and isn't, like, in the same episode.
Yeah.
Maddox, question mark? Agnes, question mark? I really feel that Maddox just wasn't a character at all in this. They were just like, we need to go to where Maddox is. Before he can give us any information, we have to kill him. That's it.
Yeah. I was just disappointed they didn't
really
use him
impact.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep,
actually,
they-
that episode in TNG was such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
One of my
And,
favorites.
And for Maddox to be played down so much, kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
He's like an adversary that they just murked.
It's a good contrast to like how it once was versus how it is now. Like where once like the stories you could see like both sides are still human, and then at the end of it, Maddox kind of became a better person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Data even forgave him and said, no, you are still cool and smart. We should still keep working together. And then like woo, cool. And then now he's this grimy guy who just gets killified, and you're like, oh, all right, I guess. Does she have to go to jail for that? Nah. All right. Okay, cool. You guys care? Do you guys even care? Keith, we gotta go home now.
But she's part of the crew now.
Yep, because they're doing Firefly.
You know, it's kind of...
Which is
kinda
okay.
weird,
Firefly's
actually.
awesome.
It is okay.
Firefly's awesome.
Absolutely.
It is not okay, but that's for the next episode, and I finally figured out how to say it. Anyway,
No, that's in two
Next-
episodes. Next
Oh.
episode, we're talking about the whole series, the whole season, and then the episode after that, we're talking about what is Star Trek.
cool.
Which is Picard.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm with you,
Because
Michael.
it's going to be a fight.
Oh yeah.
I got words.
2 versus 2.
We'll just have to remember that we all love each other before the episode.
Of course.
And I'm trying to help you.
I'm trying to help you. Yeah. I'm with you, Keith. I'm with
Thank
you.
I like that they remembered that Picard is actually a quite accomplished pilot. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
He's one of the best in the Academy. I remember he did the thing.
Yeah, that's
where
why you did the
shoots-
Picard maneuver on the Stargazer.
Yep, and then bounced like shuttles off atmospheres, so that all he had to do is watch Rios fly the ship a couple times. He's like, I could do this.
And did
So that was
the
cool.
Kessel run in like 2 parsecs or something? Sorry.
No.
What about that scene where Narek shows up with Rafi and Rios, and then he's like, let's do a thing. And then all of a sudden, Elnor shows up, and he's like, choose to live. And he's like, I am. What? I am choosing to live.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Hey. Don't come my head. Read the room,
Romulan
Elnor. Come on, man.
Yeah, Romulan on Romulan violence. No. Let's not do this.
Choose to live. I am. Man, Narek. I don't know what's going on with Narek. What is this personality?
That is them running out of things for people to do on screen because they've like served their narrative purpose, and we need to do something because the real fight's in the sky right now. So let's have them fail at stopping anything by getting in fist fights with androids.
I actually started out hating Narek, and then in the end I kind of liked him. I don't know. Because he was kind of an idiot, but I liked him anyway. I don't know.
Well, the whole like.
Wait, no, he's supposed to be a genius. He does puzzles with only one hand.
Well, he failed.
Yeah. Well, and he's so like he's so torn, and you just feel for
Oh,
him, and
dear.
you know, like,
Is he torn? He did run straight to his
no.
sister.
Yeah.
I know. Well,
But also there was that thing about him lying about killing the synth, because she's like, did you kill the synth? And he's like, I killed one. And then you see the actual image from her eyes, and you're like, oh no. Sutra, like we
Sutra
thought,
did it.
is the one who did it. So he still didn't do it. So I guess you still are a washout, Narek.
oh, speaking of her, so these are these advanced, androids
Yep.
who can mind meld and stuff.
Ugh.
Yet Sung has an on-off switch for her. Like, he could just turn her off.
Oh, right.
I will completely
like-
back that, because when you're making that kind of a being,
Make a
you
kill
should.
switch.
Well, I
Yeah.
understand, but you would think that they would know and be like, I can bypass this easily.
Oh yeah.
see what
You
I'm
would think
saying?
Sutra would have gotten rid of it
Yeah,
already.
because she was already conniving. Like,
Her
you could
big
just
evil
tell.
mastermind
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So I mean, part of me was like, wait, that was too easy. You can't just
Up to
turn
this
her
point,
off.
though, up to this point on their planet is a utopia, so they don't have a reason to believe that there's going to be any kind of conflict whatsoever.
That's true.
So she would not have worried about it until now that she knows it exists.
Yeah.
Now things can change.
And also,
But it's built into her hardware.
Yeah, yeah.
Until
But
she
also,
unbuilds
let's
it
talk
out.
about how she was
Replicator.
so gung ho about taking out the humans. Sung was a human. So it's like, wait, what?
That-
Like,
Yes,
stick
I
to
have
your guns or no?
many questions about characters
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah, agreed. Anyway, sorry, went off on a tangent.
I love tangents. I don't know what I'm doing. You just pretend I do.
Wait a minute.
We're shooting from the hip, willy nilly.
Willy-nilly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hoping we can see
Agnes, also, when Agnes takes out the eye, I was like, that is a very human-looking eye. Why is the inside of the android like that?
Because they're clones.
Squelch.
Well, because they have
Are they
to.
clones or androids?
Well, but so how do they get through bioscans if they don't look human on the inside?
Yeah,
too,
that's
right?
true.
But I thought Soji was like the human-looking one, but the other ones weren't. I mean, they're all gold-skinned and yellow-eyed and...
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's-
So
yeah,
they're
but that
closer to
doesn't mean-
Data, and Data wasn't like that.
So you're, yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, we're on
I
a
don't
utopia
know.
planet. We don't know what experiments he's been doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care. They don't care. They just
I will
want to
admit,
gross us out.
I expected all of them to like look like humans. I didn't expect them to have gold skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect them to have gold skin either until we got there and everybody was like Data color, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I appreciate the variance.
More variants would have been dope. Like, if there were in-betweens, like some that were more human, some that were more like android, because he has, like, presumably different generations. They're constantly working on them. But, whatever. It's fine.
They can do that for season 2.
Is it fine? Just kidding.
Okay, so let's talk about Ganma Dan for a sec. The Day of Reckoning that Narek finally tells everyone about, I guess. So you have Sebnatan the Foreteller, and Seb Cheneb, the Destroyer, the one who calls the beacon. I guess I'm confused what the difference is between the two.
Because
He's like, one will sound a horn that warns us, and then the other will sound a horn that calls them?
and neither happened, even in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they called the aliens, they just shut down the thing again.
Okay.
But my question, I guess, there is actually, was Seb Cheneb supposed to be her because she's the one who activated the beacon then? And then was Natan her sister? But she didn't really foretell anything. She just exploded.
Maybe that was the foretelling.
Her exploding?
Yeah. By my explosion, you will know that you guys will explode. Because of...
Oh, it's the first death. That.
There you go, yeah.
But it
It's
wasn't,
like a
though, because
stretch.
it was the attack on Mars that was kind of the...
Which didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Now that we have the full picture. they wiped out like
Once
their
again,
own
Keith
safe.
is on the side of the Romulans, save people from wiping everyone, getting wiped out by wiping out androids.
In what way are the Romulans wrong? Oh wait. Except for the shipyard thing didn't make any sense. They could take out those androids anytime. They didn't need to do it at the time when they need to save their people, so that was weird. But
They were just trying to scare people away from androids, right?
I guess it just seems that was like
Right.
a bad way to do it.
I agree. Like the humans translated the beacon properly. The only message we really needed to get was we will be wiped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even a secret they need to keep.
Yeah.
They should be telling everybody, "Whoa, guys!
Just get them on their
watch
side,
out,
yeah.
'cause
Speaking of
this is
it,
like
it's just
instant kill."
It's because they're Romulans. Romulans are secretive, man. Why are you asking so many questions, huh?
Yeah. But it also kind of makes you realize that the Zhat Vash aren't really needed.
Nope.
They're
I mean,
really
it's
not.
like I mean, Tal Shiar is one thing. Like, I get it. That's like the secret military.
Mm-hmm.
But the Zhat Vash being so kind of pumped up, they don't really matter.
Yeah, they could have just had the Tal Shiar, tell them, and then Tal Shiar's be like, yeah, we need to do this. We don't need to create another organization, I don't think.
Exactly. So I feel like the Zhat Vash, I mean, I understand, like, they were trying to add some more diversity to the story, but the Zhat Vash was kind of not needed, you know?
Yeah.
To me, I keep on seeing branding. Like, they want their own brand of everything so that they don't have the Tal Shiar, they have Zhat Vash, they have XBs, not Borgs, they have...
JL.
JL, not
everything.
Picard. Ouch.
And they also have a flagship that's not the Enterprise. What's going on with that?
Speaking of... my
It doesn't
kiddo-
have to be named
yeah.
the Enterprise all the time. Your
I
kiddo?
know.
Should
Well,
be.
yeah, so just fun fact, he, for like it's almost like every week he asks, did they show a new Enterprise on the Picard show? Do they, like, is there an Enterprise F yet?
Oh, that's
I'm like,
adorable.
no, buddy. I don't know if it's gonna happen. He goes, I want to make the Enterprise H. I was like, okay. Like,
Yes, he does.
He's so into Star Trek right now. It's adorable.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it makes Daddy happy.
I posted a video of the Enterprise F for him to watch. Show him that video.
Nice. Will do, man. Will do. Definitely.
Can other people watch it too? No, I'm just kidding. All right, damn.
Just the boy. Just the boy.
All right.
Just the boy.
All right.
All right, so we go back into Synthville. We have a couple of groups here. There's Soong and Sutra, who are trying to get Soji to call the aliens. You have Picard and Agnes, who are working on the other side. Agnes thought she was the worst secret agent ever, but she's starting to think she has a gift. And oh yeah, she says make it so to him. That was cute. And then there's the Rios, Raffi, and Eric Elnor gang, which sneak in an explosive just so they can throw it so that she can catch it, so they can be like, oh no. I really feel like that whole thing was just so they would have a reason for them to be at that scene, honestly.
Yeah.
I liked how there was no scene of them being conflicted about killing Soji. They were all in. They're like, guys, all right, we gotta do this. Fucking killing Soji. We're gonna freaking vaporize her ass.
Yep.
And
Maybe they didn't know she was going to be there,
it-
like at that, console the whole time. I don't know.
Wasn't there a line about like, oh, she's like in the wake, like I wish she'd get back.
Yeah, he
like,
paused.
There's some
Oh.
line, yeah. There's a line about like, oh, she's too close or something
Yeah.
like that.
You're
Yeah, they
right.
wanted her to move away and
Yeah.
just explode the console.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
plan.
Okay. Never mind then. I take
Yeah.
it back then. Yeah.
It was
Although they shouldn't have been questioning, because guys, it's everyone in the galaxy. That I can't stress how big a number that is of people that you're trying to like take the chance on.
like the entire
for one
Federation
person.
and the Romulan Empire and the Klingon Empire and the Ferengi. Yeah, they will just be wiped out.
Cardassian.
All quadrants
Everybody,
get
yeah.
freaking
Goodbye.
killified. I'm sorry, Soji, you have to go.
Yeah. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, but the sheer insanity of that.
Fucking hubris.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it
The
is
sheer
weird
insanity of
that they're
It's
making
like,
the stakes
how's
so
that-
high and then not aware
Yeah.
of their own stakes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, how is... So, first off, what could do that to everything? You know what I'm saying? I don't care
The
if it's
Reapers.
AI or not. Like, it's just crazy. Like, what? How's how is nothing going to survive? That just doesn't make
Well,
sense.
if you have enough time in the
Yeah.
galaxy and space. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not hinting at any kind of science fiction thing. Anyway, they're just saying that, like, give enough
You
time.
would never.
Yeah.
Give enough time, you could create a giant menace that can maybe attack anything and everything in the galaxy. And if that exists, that would change the entire landscape of Star Trek. And I'm pushing my glasses while I say it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
No,
think about
it's
it,
just
though.
it's just a boogeyman to them.
You've
Yeah,
got all
the
these
episode-
You've got all these quadrants and all this open space. Is there really enough AI to go and take out everything everywhere?
Yes.
You see, apparently.
No, I don't.
That's
Actually,
why
calling it the
that's why we
boogeyman
never
was
seeing them. That's
yeah.
why we never see them.
calling them a boogeyman there was genius. That's exactly what it is. It's just like a scary story in the horrors
Yeah.
of space. It's basically like you said, robotic Cthulhu. But that's it. The season arc is done, so they're just not a threat anymore. Neutralized.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
You'll never hear
what are you
about
guys
them again.
doing? Kill Soji. Kill Soji.
Neutralized.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Except Sung is suddenly on Rios' side there. He's like, oh, wait, I just realized they might kill all humans. Wait, shit, I'm human.
About time. It took him long enough.
Wait, shit. Somebody pointed something out to me that had not occurred to me. So, the soccer balls are set up, as we know, in that other scene where Rios and Agnes decide to sleep together for the first time. Like, she comes out and he's, like, shirtless, doing soccer. But one of my friends was like, how interesting that the Hispanic dude hides a bomb in a soccer ball.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I don't know enough about history to know where that's referencing.
Oh, just, Hispanic people, they play soccer, right?
And have bombs?
No?
Well,
Okay, it's
He was
just a
just
soccer.
like,
No,
okay,
but-
a soccer ball.
But if you,
Cool.
if you think about like the bigger picture and the wall and all the stuff going on with the U.S. and Mexico and all that stuff, like I can see what they're getting at by stating that fact. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
thought I would mention
Yeah,
it.
that's I didn't even
Like,
think of
I
that.
didn't notice it. I didn't think of it, but
Well, and you know why I didn't.
Yep.
You know why I didn't even think about it is because when I think about people, I think about it in the way of Star Trek. Like I don't.
yeah.
I don't pay attention to where someone's from or what their ethnicity is. Like, I don't care. We're all human.
That far in the future,
You know what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
not supposed to matter anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where are you from, Jay?
Exactly. California.
God damn it! No.
Even though I grew up in Indiana. Even though I grew up in Indiana, but California.
And also, those robots should have been able to tell they were lying. And also, data can see through solid rock, so I think they should be able to see through the soccer ball. I just think that it's not realistic.
Your
Sorry.
glasses are getting a little bit pushed up too far, everybody.
I'm just saying that he's got the eyes that
Okay. I mean, no.
that was going through my head while it was happening. I was like, guys, they can see your freaking blood level
Yeah,
is pumping.
he looks at the ball and he's like, hey, hold on, there's not air in that.
But, oh no, we gotta do our wacky subplot. Well, yeah, it's. I'm
Again,
being
it
mean
was
to the show.
just to get there in that scene. So
It was so they could have something to do because the plot ran out of things for them to be able to actually accomplish.
and then there was a Narissa versus 7 of 9 girl fight. We talked about that already.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is for you.
The moment I saw them on
Sparta!
screen, cat fight, cat
Picard
fight.
and Agnes. Picard.
Like, okay.
That's where the Picard maneuver joke is. Oh yeah, see, here's the thing about the metagel. I keep calling it metagel because whatever, it does anything. Whatever.
Isn't it more of an omni tool?
But it's literally, you guys, it's literally a Deus Ex Machina.
Oh Jesus, God yes.
It's literally
to
a
do-
Deus Ex Machina. It's a machine that can do anything to solve any problem. Holy shit. That's kind of funny, actually.
All their imaginations are too small.
Like, what can, how can we
should I
fix this
explain why?
thing that can do everything? Yes.
Like yeah, I'm sorry. Like yeah, if it's not so, it can do anything. So I don't know, make it so that your guns can shoot all the ships at the same time. Like just it can do anything. But instead they have the smallest ideas of I'll have it only be able to fix this one thing, or I'll have it be able to do the multiple. Which I don't know. I'm not sure if I thought that was cool or not. What did you guys think the Picard maneuver was cool?
Yes.
Yeah. absolutely.
The maneuver, the joke.
Are you talking
part?
about?
Yeah.
Are you talking about where they made a bunch of those ships?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool because they had to before they blew up the planet.
Yeah.
So I thought it was brilliant, and it's the Picard maneuver.
I know.
Times like 100,000.
Exactly.
So
The super Picard maneuver.
yeah, that's what I'm
Makes
saying.
a joke
Like, yeah,
about coming up with the Picard maneuver, then uses the actual Picard maneuver, but just more.
I know. No, it was,
I did like the part where she goes, "Yeah, you did that with the Enterprise." He goes, "First of all, was the Stargate." I'm like, all right, cool.
yeah.
Thank you for making it. Because I didn't even think they were gonna make the correction, but all right, on point. But yeah, I couldn't tell how much again it's like reference spamming. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry for being stick in mud
No,
guy.
I'm the same way.
No, it's,
Yeah,
it's
so
fair.
it's just
I mean,
like-
it's valid. You're totally valid. Yeah.
It'd be cool
Thanks,
if,
Jay.
like, we got more of a Star Trek thing where, like, there was like a ring around the planet and it was like crystal or something like that, and then like they banked
And that
off
they
like
were
holograms.
using it to reflect, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, or even if that was like their way to then shoot out the super beam of just figure out something, but instead we go to a reference to use and then a MacGuffin to create it because there's no other way to create it. And do all the holograms have warp signatures?
Yep, somehow.
All right, whatever, guys. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what it took to buy the time that they needed. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna say something real cold for a sec.
Do it.
There's a famous interview with J.J. Abrams in when he was working on Star Trek, where he talks about how when he was young, he wasn't a fan of it because he found it too cerebral for him, but his friends were into it, but he thought that it was too cerebral, and whatever, he goes on, and then Jon Stewart goes, no, it's not Jon Stewart, it's crap, I forgot his name, who worked on Jon Stewart's show.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert, thank you. Colbert goes, I'm sorry, I stopped listening when you said I don't like Star Trek. I assume the thing that you said after that was an apology. Anyway, so J.J. Abrams said the reason he didn't like Star Trek TOS when he was young, or TNG, I don't know, was because it was too cerebral. So I guess this is the Trek for J.J. because it's not cerebral. They didn't create any technobabble. They didn't think of any reason why would it exist. They were just like, here's a magic tool, use it for magic.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm upset about.
Yeah, that was a little bit too easy.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
even for
upset
me,
about.
I was like, eh.
Like,
Running
the
out of
whole
time
thing
to
with
write
Star Trek is
story.
people didn't like it because it was too smart for them. Well, not a problem.
Yeah. You know what? Let us smart people enjoy the smart stuff, and let those other people enjoy the other stuff. Okay.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is my smart thing.
Yeah.
Don't make it
I
not
know.
smart. It's my smart thing. I need a
I
smart
know.
thing too.
I know.
'Cause where else are you gonna go to get your smart thing, Orville? I mean, there's no
Stop
other
it.
shows that
How
what? There's no other
dare-
shows
how dare
on
you.
right now, the Orville, that are like that, and
Stop it.
Anyway, I'm just saying.
We were
Actually,
talking
you know
about a bunch of sci-fis when I was streaming today, and somebody brought up the Orville, and I was like, believe me, I know.
You know, actually, I got to chime in and say there is one show that I find super duper cool, and that's The Expanse.
Yeah,
far
I've
as
heard
sci-fi
so many
goes,
great things. I'm working on it.
As-
I'm working
yeah,
on it.
As
I'm
far
just 2
as
episodes
sci-fi
in.
goes, and as far as like thinking and storyline, I actually really, really, really have been into The Expanse. So I just got to chime in. That might be my Orville.
It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid.
I'm still waiting for that 3-body problem thing.
Oh God, guys, that is the well. That is the well to go down. 3-body problem. The things you can talk about.
I heard that they're going to try to make a Foundations show, and I'm very curious as to how they're going to do that. Because, like,
Same.
unless they're going to have every season be like a different time zone, like a different era altogether, I'm just not sure how they're going to do Foundations. You know what I mean?
The best way you could do Foundation is the same style as Cosmos, because Foundation was talking about like broad strokes of like what civilizations doing
Yeah,
versus like actual characters.
Yep,
so
yep,
if you
yep.
did it in like the poetic style of Cosmos, that would work, but they're not gonna because that's not how we do things.
That's
No.
not how we tell stories.
So are we about to talk about the fleet yet?
Yes, let's talk about the fleet.
Is it about that time?
Hold on. Let me real quick see what else I
yeah.
have.
That's right. Sabrina said we were going to skip talking about the fleet. You know how
we're just gonna skip the whole fleet.
That's fine, because there's not much to talk about.
Okay, you know what? Let's get it out of the way. Let's talk about the fleet.
Let's go.
They just copy and pasted the same shit. They copy and pasted same ship over and over again. That wasn't what I wanted. Why they hate me?
I know.
So yeah, just like
I mean, they did the same thing for the Romulans.
yes, they did.
Yeah.
What I was hoping for was, well, I knew couldn't happen so all the way leading up to it, I'm just like, there's not enough time for them to have spent that much money and time on creating a whole bunch of ships. So are they going to punk out? We're just not going to see the fleet show up, and it does show up. And the music and the moment and the way the camera moves is all well constructed
To distract you from the fact that
they're copying the Avengers and. On your left, Captain. I was like, oh, guys, that's the Avengers. And that's also what Star Wars tried to do. Stop copying people.
Oh, that's such an old trick, though. Just sound cue when all your allies show up.
Yeah, but there's a certain kind of pacing and reveal to it, which is now signature to that Avengers ending. Mm-hmm. Where, and then also, like, all the ships are copy and pasted. There's 2 different variants. And they just kind of like flipped like the saucer section upside down for one of them, and it wasn't that good, guys. I just
there was no fleet.
Yeah, it was just over and over, like it was just spam. There you go. It was Starship spamming,
and considering the fact that we know that there's a bunch of different classes of ship, the fact that there were only 2 ships, period, was upsetting to you.
And then maybe just one ship should have been different so we could see what the flagship looks like.
Yeah. Why didn't they have a flagship? Design a flagship, you guys.
Yeah.
Weren't you waiting for the Titan? Isn't that what you were waiting for? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was definitely waiting for the Titan. That's even in my notes here. Yeah. Even saying, no Titan still.
Well, despite all that, how cool was it to see Riker captaining the ship, though?
Fucking cool as hell.
I mean, I love that. I know it was fan servicey, but I liked it.
Oh, that made it. Yeah. Like that just kind of made the whole thing. I mean, as soon as he popped up on screen, was like, you didn't think I'd let you out here and have all the fun, huh?
I totally peed a little bit. I mean, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
It's from the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Obviously it's Jonathan Frakes, but I'm just like, God, he's so Riker.
Yeah.
Like, I love him so much.
I mean, here's what I wrote down. The Federation is here somehow. Oh, Will Riker is here. He knew the planet because this is a little girl. Yeah, okay. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, because I was also going to be like, they wouldn't recall him for that. But it's because they didn't recall him at all. He was like, oh, Picard's doing some shit.
Yeah.
Well, let me go find the fleet. I know where he's going. Okay.
Yep. He recalled himself, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he recalled himself. And he apparently recalled Picard, demotion. Too, because he calls him an admiral. And I'm like, hey.
And he demoted himself so he could be the captain again.
Right. I'll take the demotion.
That's
you actually you don't need to demote yourself to be captaining the flagship.
Yeah.
Like you can just take command of the flagship. That's happened with Kirk, where an admiral comes on board and he's like, I outrank you. I'm the captain now.
I'm in command. I'm taking over. Yeah.
So, well,
that's
whatever. That's adorable.
I know.
Whatever.
I know.
Yeah, it was cute.
So
I mean, I knew it was fan service, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want to take go ahead. I'm sorry.
Jay,
I was gonna say that it was fan service. I loved seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's shallow, but like just the thing I loved about it was that I wanted to see this for so long. But this is how we wanted to see like the first episode.
Yeah.
Like if we had seen like Picard doing that, not Picard, Riker doing that lean in the first episode as he's captain of some ship. Yeah, that's where I wanted us to start and move on from there to see like.
Yeah,
what
but they
all these
wanted it to be
characters
a big moment.
Yeah, but it's a big small moment and a glimpse of like what I wanted the show to be. So yeah, it was a happy sad moment. But still glad.
Maybe gives us hope for season 2.
Yeah.
I think season 2 is going to be amazing.
I'm right there with you, Jay.
I hope season 2 is going to be more like exploration and less the world will end.
Yeah, I agree.
Correct. Yeah. I'm hoping that this is just setting the stage for what Picard's really going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my
Yeah,
hope.
that they were like, okay, we told this big movie, and now we can do like episodes about the characters and development, and
Exactly.
we'll take our time with the relationships and stuff.
Yeah, hopefully they did this first season just to hook some of the non-Trek people maybe, and then go to the Trek stuff next season.
It's kind of like the 2009 movie all over again, because a bunch of like action movie people were like, "Ooh, Star Trek's cool."
Yep.
Yeah,
That's how I got a bunch of my friends into Star Trek. They thought it was too cerebral. I was like, watch the JJ movies.
Yeah,
and then I'll sneak you something else.
some of the good stuff.
The good stuff.
It's,
I have roommates
starter drug.
literally binging. Yeah, I have roommates literally now binging the original TNG because of Picard.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yep, they're now going, oh shit, now what is this show now? And downstairs every so often I can hear
That makes me so happy, Keith.
So that is cool.
That's awesome.
I know. Our family is growing.
The love is spreading.
Nerds.
So one thing I was going to bring up earlier, just speaking about the copy and pasting of ships and stuff, I saw this online and it was kind of funny. Just speaking of copy and pasting, and it's veering direction a little bit. But did you all see that is it called an admonition? I can't remember. I can't.
The admonition. Yeah.
Yes, admonition. That was actually footage from Shutterstock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they basically like redid it, like basically scene by scene via Shutterstock, and they're just like,
Yeah. That robot even.
Yeah, someone from the graphics department either got. They basically had an intern do it, or someone lied and said that they made it themselves.
It would not shock me.
Yeah.
Save that money. Save that money.
I know, but it's like, and the thing is, it worked. I didn't care, but it was just funny because they were like, watch this, and they basically went to Shutterstock and found them. I was like, oh, interesting.
If they get to a second season, I think it should be all about the synth Cthulhu threat that everybody in the galaxy should be researching. Like, okay, what the fuck was that? Because at any moment we can all die.
Yeah.
Let's like research and find out what's keeping them from like just rolling through the galaxy in the first place. Because after they stuck their head through, they saw those stars. They could figure out the position of that planet. So why aren't they like? Why shouldn't we be worried that they are now on their way? Like once we felt for the Borg, where they're like those Borgs are still on their way.
Well, that's the thing, that they become the new Borg, because the Borg are now refugees, and the Borg aren't the scary Borg that we're used to, or at least not that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? And this new entity, because the Borg have always been like the cream of the crop as far as bad guys. They're like one of the best written bad guys, like ever. They're my favorite. Obviously, I'm biased. I know.
What you like the Borg, Jay?
I know how. Yeah, I know. But I don't know. Like, I feel like this threat here trumps the Borg. I mean, they could end all life everywhere. Yeah,
it should.
I'm going to be the pessimist and say they're probably going to just forget about the whole thing.
They're monsters of the week.
Yeah,
they turn them into a monster of the week for 10
episodes. Of the season.
Yeah.
The monster of the season.
Yeah.
Monster of the week for 10 episodes.
Yeah, the monster of the week for 2 months.
All right.
Yeah, where usually, like, if Star Trek, ran to this kind of a threat, they could knock this out in a two-parter.
Yeah.
So the Romulans go to sterilize the planet. She says use sterilization pattern number 5.
Yeah.
Why do they have like minimum of 5 different sterilization patterns?
Because 1 through 4 wasn't good
Romulans,
enough. So.
y'all, what's going on with you? What are you doing?
Not this one.
No, 5. The 5.
Make it 5.
Okay, let's talk about Picard sacrificing himself. He literally says, they're like, what makes you think we're going to do this? My life. Picard out.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Very diplomatic.
Well, he was tired. He was tired of trying to be the smooth talker. He was just like, all right, that's not working. This is all I got left. And he was just like, it's kind of like what is it that just the joke about how okay, we can't win. Let's just ram the ship. Let's just run it. Let's just ram the ship into it.
Good job, Kelvin. USS Kelvin.
I saw it as trying to rationalize everything. I was trying to see it as, okay, what they're trying to say is like the synths are like simple stupid. Like they don't know anything about anything, and therefore they don't know that humans are capable of sacrificing themselves for others that are not themselves. So this was supposed to be a gigantic event that could reprogram them to start acting right. So
I like that idea.
I thought that was cool. And that was all right. It's still after they lower their arms, kill them all, just wipe them out. You can't take any more chances, guys, because like one of them could read the wrong book, and you now have just like every second they're existing. Romulans are right. They just start shooting, and then, like when the Federation showed up, they're like, "All right, everybody, waste this planet. We can't take any chances on this." But yeah, I see what they're going for, but it doesn't work.
But Keith, Picard says that they trust Soji.
Yeah, Keith.
Does Riker know that his daughter's life is on the line for Soji?
But his daughter likes Soji. What's your point?
Thank you, Sabrina. Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
No, I did
Does
write why are the
every parent
Federation
in the
so
galaxy-
inconsistent then. We trust you, Soji. Why? Why do you trust her? She has not been able to make a single decision. She like keeps changing her mind. Like you're gonna die.
Just an episode ago, she was going to kill all humanity. So,
Yeah, that's my point.
Like, come on.
The moment she found out she had the option to wipe out the galaxy, she's like, "Okay, I can do this." It took me like right away. She didn't like go. Maybe we should think about.
She's
this,
like, at
or-
least I can get my ex-boyfriend
to-
right, and she'll push the button.
And okay, so speaking of the beacon again, sorry, this just the whole building of it and the fact that it was like liquid metal, like a Terminator building up. It was just kind of like how I want to know. They didn't explain anything of how it was built. Like all it was here, build this thing, okay, and it like magically makes itself. Which okay, they have the tool that makes anything. Okay, I get that. And then all she's doing is like moving holographic blocks around to get it to go. But there's no explanation of like what it is, how it works, where it points to, like when it opens. I mean, there's zero information.
Is it the same planet as the admonition place?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, that ruins everything then. Yeah, because I was like wondering, okay, what makes this place so special that they can make the beacon here?
Yeah, because the ammunition is on Aya, the Grief World, and this is on Coppelia.
Yep.
Coppelius.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, can she make this thing?
The beacon
at will?
anywhere. Yeah,
I
I
think
guess.
they just needed the blueprints, basically.
Kill them all. You mean you could do this at any moment you choose? Okay. I'm
Keith's
sorry,
like,
I'm gonna
cool
have to
with it.
vaporize you. The moment they talked her down, they're like, "Thank you, Soji. You made the right choice. Fire, fire, will." And like, do you guys feel I'm over exaggerating about this? I know it's very funny, but like,
Tiny bit.
this is like what you should not be doing. You should not be taking chances on everyone's child in the galaxy because you like this one person who seems kind of nice, even though she's willing to do mass genocide.
I feel like if the mass genocide stakes were real in the show, then I would agree with you, but they're not really. Like, the
Because
monsters are just going to disappear. We're supposed to be on the side of the synths because they're basically the same as humans, but the fact that they can wipe out, if, in fact, they could wipe out all organic life, yeah, you're right. I mean, but the show doesn't even treat it like that.
I mean, it wouldn't wipe out all life instantly, you don't think, right? I mean, it would take...
It will start a war.
Yeah, which...
Presumably. Yeah, but it's like, we're going to call people whose sole job is to save us by getting rid of all organic life.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a concern.
A little bit.
All right, I guess you have a point
It's
there.
always there? Holy shit, that's always there?
Yeah, I get it, Keith.
You're nice. It's not personal. Yes, it is. All right, there you go. That's my only problem with the show.
Your only problem.
That's the only
The only one.
problem.
Okay, the only problem.
All right. All right. So, Picard syndrome kills him after all. I thought that it was a brain degenerative disease like Alzheimer's, not like you will suddenly die from a stroke, but
Yeah.
I saw it as brain deterioration, and that eventually your brain goes
like literally it just
collapse
stops.
like a
Yeah.
kid's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. collapses like a kid's sandcastle.
Oh, it was very poetic, Keith.
Well, that's from the show. That's how Picard described it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and I did like that line because it was very poetic.
Yeah, it was.
I
All right.
have to admit, like, just on a personal note, when he was like grabbing his head and having like the pain and stuff,
Yeah.
it hit a little bit of like home. I was just like, flashbacks of when I had my stroke.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. Okay, the scene's over. Good. So.
And did any of us have any moment of thinking that the death would stick?
No.
Or
No.
like the
No.
yeah, the show's just like, hey, we have a body right here. You can transfer people
that
to.
was like so obviously placed. Like it's like, come on. It's we just have this thing. Yeah. Okay. Boom. No.
They get to have their death and eat it too.
All right. So let's talk about those moments when Picard is dead. We'll talk about Picard and Data last.
Okay.
Obviously. So just like. So Rafi and Elnor have like kind of like a motherly sort of like comfort scene. There's a scene with Rios and 7 of 9 getting drunk together. I don't remember where Agnes is in all this. But anything jump out to you in particular about like the way people are mourning Picard when he's dead?
Just that Elnor is adorable, and he's crying like a child, and it's this beautiful, heartfelt, makes me cry thing. You know what I mean? Like he's just so pure, and it's so crazy that he's just this guy that'll slash people's heads off, but he's this like child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but he's adorable. It's like, dude.
Well, he's very black
adorable.
and white. Like evil people get their heads chopped off, and good people are friends.
Yeah, and I will cry my eyes out if he dies.
Yeah.
I mean, but just the way that he cried and sobbed was like, dude, just so. I was, total ugly tears. I was like ugly crying.
If I thought Picard's death had been real, that would have been me ugly crying with Elnor. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But we all knew better.
Yeah. So that kind of made that whole thing, just mean nothing. Personally, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep. All the while it was happening, it's kind of like.
Yep, you're right. I didn't get emotional because I was like, yeah, he's not dead though, so whatever.
Yeah. But they didn't know he wasn't dead.
Right.
At that time. So,
Right.
I couldn't tell what they might or should know at that point in time, because this had happened a little bit after that he died.
Oh, that's where Agnes is in all this.
Yeah,
Never
she's
mind.
transferring. Yeah.
Knew that.
So during this, so maybe they just didn't know if it would work or not, and that was
they were making it a surprise.
His,
surprise! He's not dead.
Well, also you got to remember now he is not in a human body. He's in a synth body. So his human body died. Like his human body died.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
That's still
But,
a big deal.
Does it make a difference?
Not really.
If
Brains in a jar, you know.
in headcanon, you can go really like crazy on this if you want to and say that that's not Picard and that it is a copy.
Sure, but in
and
headcanon, you
there's
can
no
also
soul.
say that about anybody who comes out of a transporter.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's why I would not
I mean,
take a fucking
whatever.
transporter. I'm sorry.
But in the show,
with bones. All
but
right,
in the
fair
show
enough.
they go. But in the show, they go out of their way to say, "Nope, it's a quantum remapping of no, it's exactly. Don't worry about it."
Which is why there's two
he's not dead."
Rikers now.
Well, yeah. Thomas.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
God, I love that.
Wouldn't it be cool if he showed back up?
Thomas Riker.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
It was cool when it did happen.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I never thought I'd see him again, and I'm not gonna say where he showed up again, but when he showed up again, I freaking popcorn just flew out.
You talking about
my-
DS9?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
where it
Oh
happened.
well, too bad I did.
in case there are people out there who
Damn it!
haven't
I'm
seen
still
it
working
yet.
Well,
through DS4.
Oh, sorry.
I
are you
missed
really?
what you said, but
Okay.
don't repeat it.
Okay.
I saw like a spike start on my recording, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I realized the air conditioning was on, so I went to turn it off.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that happened to me like
Yep.
a couple episodes ago.
Rios getting drunk was funny because he was like, "I gotta stop loving my captains as if they were my dads, and then them dying."
Seven Nine's like, I gotta stop killing people and like
Yep.
They're like, fuck it.
this is not good.
Literally what I have written down. I loved Picard. I killed someone.
Yeah. Here, drink this. It tastes like
I
crap.
win.
And then
it'll get you drunk.
Reminded me of like the alcohol in Japan. Like there's just it tastes just like hideous, like squid juice or something. It was horrible. I couldn't. Anyway, sorry.
no.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, questionable alcohol is interesting and it does exist out there.
All right. Let's talk about the scene. I feel like the scene that they had in mind and that they wrote the entire season around. No? Anybody else get that feeling?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm talking about dead Picard and dead Data having a chat in the afterlife.
Yes.
Which, was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That's what most of my notes are on, actually.
I do have to laugh about the fact that they just like took the set and then painted everything black. I'm like, yep, that's very much like an afterlife kind of thing. Just paint everything matte
A
black.
complex.
Exactly.
So, my first disappointment, because Keith's always like this, but yeah, I did love the scene, but my first disappointment was like complex quantum simulation. What kind of advanced powerhouse could create such a thing that could contain both their consciousnesses? Is this the Outer Rim Cthulhu techno organization? It's just soon he made one.
It's just soon, yep.
Okay, and then like when he even says like, and yes, it was created by my brother. I'm like, holy shit, Laura could do that. Oh, you mean that guy?
Oh, soon. Right.
Oh yeah.
We're not doing what you want, Keith. We're just having some emotions here. Let it go. Okay.
Yeah,
And
they
then-
didn't really pay
the scene
attention
plays
to the
out.
way their technology works in this season. That's definitely a thing we've noticed.
Yep.
No
But
technobabble
letting that
whatsoever.
Letting that go, it was a beautiful scene.
It really was. I mean, they get, he gets to talk to Data about things that he'd had in his mind, and like in questions he'd had. And we get the closure of Data finally, officially. And it was one thing that I found interesting, and I'm not saying it was good or bad. It was just the whole sequence of him growing old as they faded away.
Yeah, that was.
You know what I mean? And it's interesting
I liked
because
it.
Brett Spiner talks about how he wouldn't play Data.
He didn't
because
want to
he's
play
getting
Data.
older.
Yep.
So it's just a whole he said, I guess, that was the last time that he'll ever play Data.
I mean, it better
which it kinda has to
freaking
be.
be.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
has
do a
to be.
scene like that and then keep going.
No, but it was interesting because part of me is like, well, Data wouldn't have ever really aged, but at the same time, the symbolic nature of it was like, okay, that's actually really beautiful.
Plus, this isn't his
yeah.
positronic body. This is
Yeah.
a simulation of what he thinks of himself as. So if he wants himself to age like a human, like what the fuck's gonna stop him? It's just a simulation anyway.
And I gotta throw this out. Do you guys know who's singing Blue Skies? The song.
The one that plays
who the singer is?
Soji.
Bing Cosby?
The girl that plays Soji. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh.
She was on Broadway, right?
Yeah, she was on Hamilton. In Hamilton,
Ooh.
yeah. But she's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, because it's funny, because I didn't realize it until, it took me a little while. And then I was like, oh my God, she's better than I realized. Like, she's so good. And then I watched, a behind the scenes of when they recorded that. And I'm like, oh. So good.
Bing Crosby also once sung it, right?
Yeah.
And he's the grandfather of Tasha Yar.
Okay, yeah. I was like, of Phineas Crosby?
Phineas
Crosby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, yeah. Yeah.
That's sweet. I don't know if that was deliberate, but nice.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, and the person who appeared with him in the darkness, I thought it was gonna be Tasha Yar. for a tiny second, I was like, "Who's that person?" Oh, it's Picard. Okay, that's cool. I mean, I get what you guys doing. I gotta stop projecting what I want.
How much did it mess you up
But,
to see him in that uniform again?
Once again, could we have not started episode 1
Yeah.
like this?
You talking
Get those
about
guys in those
Picard?
costumes.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Great.
So
And his
good.
Captain Red.
Oh, it was so good. I was ugly crying so much.
I was definitely not ugly crying.
I was not ugly crying.
I had a pleasant look on my face as I went, all right, all right.
You're like, that was all right.
Because like, yeah, I did like it's so on a meta level, like, so there's two ways of the way I'm thinking about how it goes is that ever since like the first episode of seeing Data, it was kind of like, wow. So this being gets to outlast everybody. It goes on, and like as the Federation changes, he'll always have these memories of the people he once was once with. And what does he become or evolve into, or can he even evolve? Because he doesn't have emotions. I can't wait to see what Data is in 1,000 years from now. Oh, he's dead. Oh, all right, cool. So then there's another edge of it where Data has always wanted the human experience. And yeah, part of the human experience is sometimes you have unexpected deaths, and I respect that he accepted his unexpected death as opposed to what I always thought was going to happen, that they'd undo it by putting him in B4 and then he turns into real Data. They decided no, like Data gets a real human death where he doesn't get to undo it. Like people don't get to undo it. So
well, I thought it was really beautiful that like Picard was kind of the one that terminated his consciousness and kind of helped him complete his quest to become human eventually. I thought that was really nice.
It's that whole just the bookend of the beginning with him and Data, the end with him and Data. It was like this episode was the best episode in the whole season, and it was more Trek and more heartfelt than this entire season has been. I mean, there was just so much to it that it absolutely drew me in, and it was the first episode that had me. It's like if every episode, if it would have started like this, if every episode would have been like this, could you imagine? Because we've been kind of going up and down, good episodes, bad episodes, things that we like, things we didn't like, but this episode was the first one that like just completely grabbed my heart and just pulled me in, and I was in, so I hope next season is just nothing but.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
This one made me, overall feel the goodest.
Copy and pasted.
Breen, what'd you think of the fall of Data? Be as mean as you want to be.
Be real. Be honest. That's why we're here.
The first thing, I do think that the scene itself was moving. I just don't want to give them credit for it because all of the build-up that made us feel those feelings about that relationship are not from Picard. They're all from TNG.
True.
Correct.
And secondly, this ending would have pissed me off a whole lot less if they hadn't immediately ruined it by being like, okay, Data's dead, and it's all about morality, and the trueness of being human is knowing that it will end, and Picard is in an android body now.
But
I was like,
except for you, Picard.
But hold on. He says, you haven't made me immortal, right? And Rios goes, relax, man. Everyone was paying attention. What a meta.
That was soon.
Soon. What a meta freaking line. And I'm offended, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that line was.
How so?
they were like, it's fine. We made this whole theme about morality being part of humankind. We're gonna immediately ruin by bringing Picard back, but don't worry, we'll make a joke about it in the script. So that
you mean mortality?
Mortality, yeah. Did I say morality? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mortality. It's a whole thing about mortality, and then they're like, but Picard doesn't die. Also, hold on.
His name on the show.
Yeah.
Data says, do you regret sacrificing yourself? Except it's not really a sacrifice if he's going to die either way. It's not his decision. He didn't choose to die. He was like, well, I'm about to die anyway, so let's do the thing.
Yeah.
It's not a sacrifice if you're dying regardless. Okay, whatever.
But we're all dying.
Irregardless.
If you really want to get deep.
So
we're
the scene
all dying. The day that we're born, we start dying.
Yeah.
was moving
Sorry.
by itself, but in context.
Wait, say it again. It's moving by itself, but what?
It's moving by itself, but in the context of them having added Picard, like, not really dying and stuff.
Takes away all the gravitas.
I actually cried of frustration.
Really?
Like, I'm glad you guys cried because you loved the episode. I'm really glad.
Yeah.
But I was upset.
Yeah. I understand.
Because they undercut the cost of mortality?
because I feel like everybody's gonna love the scene, but the scene can only exist because of TNG. They're going to take credit for making you feel all of those things, and it's not because of anything that they built. Their actual themes of sacrifice and fear, they like hardly paid attention to. They don't even know who their theme. They should have died together. Okay, if they were going to do a scene like that, they should have died together. Yes. I know everybody wants more of Picard. I know. Believe me, I understand. But for the theme to work, they should have died together.
It would have had a closure. It would have had a better closure ending for everyone. No, I understand.
Yeah.
They want to focus test it so that's they don't want downers. So yeah. I fully get it. My enjoyment was completely fan service because I just want to see those two in proximity of each other, and what I wanted was the real stuff where it starts off like this, where they're in the costumes and then uniforms, and we see their real friendships, and then like we get to see real loss that lasts and sticks. But the entire time it's happening, you're like, okay, when does he go back to life?
I mean, and you're right. Like I am absolutely every positive note that I have with this is strictly from how much I love TNG and how much I love Picard already.
Yeah.
So I'm I'll admit I'm absolutely jaded. Like I'm absolutely watching this through biased eyes. You know what I'm
same
saying?
here.
Like I am absolutely
unjaded.
Biased.
Biased. Sorry. Sorry. But
I am jaded. You are biased.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. But that's just it. Like I'm not looking beyond what I already feel, if that makes sense. So I am. So you're absolutely right. Like I am that person. I am everything that I have and everything that's built up is from my love of TNG, and that's why I am the way I am toward the show. So you're 100% on the spot, right?
Well,
Sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
I was just going to quickly say I blamed you, Keith, and Sabrina about like quote unquote ruining it for me or whatever, or like making me more critical. I saw all those things before, and I'll still see them, but my love of Picard and TNG just kind of washes that away for better or worse, and so I still enjoy it.
Better.
Yeah.
For better, I'd rather you be happy watching it than disappointed. I don't want anybody else to be feeling the feelings that I was feeling at the end of that episode.
Of course not. Yeah.
But I will admit that I can appreciate having my eyes open to the differences.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't see it otherwise. It's kind of like what we were talking about. What was it? We were talking about something
dimensional
about
awareness.
No, it was
that's the thing too.
What is that? Sorry, explain that real quick. Which one is that?
Dimensional awareness.
Yeah. What's that one?
Dimensional awareness is kind of like where you go through life and like life has kind of structured itself around you that you see specifically what you see because of how life is. But sometimes you can meet the right person who opens up the door and shows you that, like, you know, like for me, when I was all homophobic once upon a time as a younger man, and then because Star Trek showed me the story from everyone's point of view, it opened up a newer dimension of me understanding, like, oh God, that's always been there.
Yeah. And
then I understand more.
You know, that actually reminded me. It was when we were talking about Stamets and Hugh, and how I didn't realize that the killing of gay characters was a thing.
Yeah.
And then you all were like, well, you wouldn't notice unless you're aware of that.
Trope.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you won't notice a trope that's against a certain class of people unless you're either in that class of people or you're close friends with somebody who is and who has experienced how damaging it is and who will bring it up to you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I appreciate those different outlooks, because I love seeing the differences and like not rethinking, but having my reality more open, if that makes sense. Because and now we can write
our own stuff, and we can make sure that stuff doesn't happen and doesn't get replicated in our work, so that it doesn't become universal.
Exactly. But that being said, that's why I appreciate you and Keith, because I know me and Michael are on the same page. We always are going to be.
Right.
You know, because that's just who we are, and that's why this balance and this diversity in us four works. But I also appreciate what you two bring, because there are things I wouldn't think about otherwise. So thank you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
I'm
I'm trying
glad
to say.
you appreciate it, because if you didn't, we would have a problem.
Well, you guys know I appreciate it too. I mean, when I quote unquote
Yeah, of
say I'm
course,
angry
Michael,
at
of
you
course.
guys, it's because
We know.
you're right. So I'm like, damn it, I just love Picard.
And always don't want to bring anyone else down or anything. Like enjoy.
Oh, I do, yeah.
And for me, enjoying
and
it
that's
means
just go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, they say like enjoy it for me means that hey, can you withstand my punches? And then and my punches are critiques. And then sometimes like a fiction can go on long enough that like it catches my fist and goes no Keith, and also I'm like, you mean you're actually good?
Oh my God.
And then
Stargate.
Stargate or what was it? Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Agents
I
of
did.
Shield?
Only the first couple seasons.
Only the
I like
first
it.
few episodes.
Like the first few episodes, we made a sport out of just shitting on it because this is an awful show, and then we laughed at everything dumb it did until this one episode after Civil War, and then like something happens that they can't undo, and we were just like silent. We were like, what? Wait, what? And then like after that, the show was just like,
nice. All right, maybe I'll give it another try.
Yeah.
oh yeah. So yeah, I hope that maybe Picard gets that chance. I don't think he will, but
Well, I do want to
the Orville
talk
definitely
about
did it.
fandom for a sec. First of all, I think there's two lenses to look at, that we're watching this show through. Just generally, like we're a good microcosm of it because there's two of us in one camp and two of us in the other. And I do not mean the like it, I don't like it camps. Okay, let me be specific. I'm not talking about that. I think there's two ways that people have been watching Picard. Way one is Star Trek is Star Trek, and I love Star Trek, so I will love it unless they really, 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 really fuck it up. I've seen, you've said it to me, Jay, Michael has said it to me, the Milton wrote that on the Discord. There's nothing wrong with it. But that is one camp. Like, unless they do something really messed up, I will love it. And the other camp is Star Trek is really important to me for XXXXY reason. And because of that, I'm going to look at it more critically than I would look at a different show. And I will be less forgiving than I would be for a different show. So get it right or else. Which, it'll make it harder for you to enjoy things because you'll notice the issues. Not a bad thing either. Just one of them will be much more critical than the other and therefore more likely to unenjoy it. So I think that's mostly what's going on. And that's fine. Because whatever, we have different tastes, dude. I think the only problem is just when somebody goes, well, your reason for liking this or not liking this is stupid.
Well, and that's just it. So many people are so, like, closed off of other opinions, and that's the thing about me. Like, I know what I like, what I don't like, and I know what my opinion is and how I feel, and I'm open to hearing other opinions and how other people feel, whether it's the same or not. But that's not going to dictate how I feel. And I think that people are so. It's become and obviously we're not going to get too crazy into it. Yeah, we're not going to solve it. But people have started becoming kind of like shut off or shut down of just being able to accept other opinions. Like, oh no, well I'm right and you're wrong. Well, no, like you can both be right in your own way. Like for your own reasons, you can think different things. And people aren't allowing that to happen as much, I think. Yeah. It just it frustrates me because you just see all this fighting and all this bickering and all this back and forth, and it's like, you guys, you're both valid. Yeah, what's the problem?
Just be okay with me having a different opinion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some of it is because, like, it's the political messaging that some of these shows frame the people coming in saying they like it are saying that they support these stances and through that they're saying I like the show, and then when you critique the show, all of a sudden they think that you're the enemy of these values that they like. Even
you can only dislike this show if you're against these values.
This and that.
Disagree.
Crazy.
Yeah, I had so many weird conversations. Like I'm trying to talk about Star Wars and the top speed of a Star Destroyer, and they keep but the subject keeps on getting changed about like women's rights. I'm like, what? No, I already agree with that.
No, I'm just talking about starships right now.
Yes, the Star Destroyers are so fast you can't really. What do you mean women's rights? Yes, I agree with that. Why do you think? What's going on here? So anyway, yeah, people, there needs to be a discussion that makes sure everybody knows that they're on the same page with what they're talking about. Like, if you're here to talk about Star Trek, yes. You want to talk about social issues, that can happen at the same time, or
Well, the thing is, I think what I'm getting at is everyone listening, you're allowed your own opinion, and I'm okay with that. And it doesn't have to be the same as mine.
Especially for a TV show.
Yeah. Oh,
my
well,
goodness.
And with anything. I mean, it's like differing opinions create diversity.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what I was saying earlier about how, like, you and Keith make me realize things and think about things I don't think about otherwise. So I love that. Like, please, like, we need more of that in the world. You know what I'm saying? So everyone out there, have your own opinions, good or bad. Like it, don't like it. Like us, don't like us. It's totally fine, because that's diversity, and that's the world, and that's amazing.
No. You're supposed to say we're all different, like one of us.
Yeah, right.
Everyone like at least one of us. Hold on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just kidding.
And I don't think that Rafi and Seven were getting together. I don't think that's a relationship we saw there.
Oh,
I think that was either
okay,
friendship,
yeah.
affection,
No.
friendship, affection, or they want to do stuff and they're cool with it. I didn't see, like, I'm not saying, I don't think they were falling in love in that one instance.
Eyes. They were total.
Okay, let's talk about that now. All right. The setup for next season. So Picard is captain.
Yep.
Okay. So I have a question first. They were all in Starfleet uniforms, right?
Who?
No, I didn't think so.
They were in gray uniforms. Didn't they have a Delta?
At the end, no.
I'm pretty sure they're all wearing their signature costumes.
I thought it was the same.
No, because they were in a gray.
Were they? I'm gonna have to look that up, because I.
All right. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But okay, so Picard is captain.
Should be.
Rios is the pilot. I guess Rafi is tactical.
Seven
No,
was
because
navigation, wasn't she?
I don't know. Okay, so Agnes is the doctor. Then I guess she's gonna be a medical doctor now.
Well, she's a doctor.
Yeah, all doctors are doctors.
Okay.
She's a professional.
Okay. So we're starting next season with on the ship Picard, Soji, Elnor, Seven, and Rafi being something, we don't know what, Rios and Agnes being cute romantic couple, and I wonder if Narek's gonna pop up on their ship or not.
Oh,
possibly.
That's a good question. Yeah, because I guess they're all cool now, right? They're all friends.
Kinda.
Plus, yeah, what happened after he showed up and told them stuff?
Narek would be their, what we call in Power Rangers, their sixth ranger. He's the wild card that has to be on the outside that shows up every so often.
Well,
he would not join the crew or else be less.
He's also going to be the love interest for Soji.
For Soji, for sure,
yeah. Because he loves her. He's so torn.
You can do better,
But
Soji.
no, he doesn't have to be so torn.
He has to get that, like, Zuko, from Last Airbender, fucks off, becomes a refugee for a while, then realizes that he's lived a really sheltered life, then goes like, wait, I love you after all, and then he shows up at the end and he gets like a whole arc to make him better again.
Please no.
Right?
Zuko never killed anybody. Never killed any innocent people. I'm pretty sure.
That's because Zuko's great. And he's very well written, and I don't know what's going on with Elnor. I can't tell you. Narek. Yeah, I can't tell you about Narek. Narek. I can tell you that Elnor is very childish. Sweet boy who murders.
Yeah, choose to live.
Actually, yeah, deaths are really not very serious in the Picard universe.
Yeah.
Unless you're who? Or Maddox.
Right, if you kill a good guy, there's a problem. But if a good guy kills somebody else, there's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, Elnor just... Seriously, he just killed that Romulan senator. Wow.
Yeah. Well, he just and Picard was like, dude, don't do that. Don't just kill people.
Only kill people who are shooting at you.
Only
Picard has a ship
of.
He has a ship of murderers.
Two confirmed murderers.
Yeah.
At least 2 confirmed murderers.
But there's
fun times, guys. Fun times.
Justice system.
Hold
in
on.
Picard universe.
Hold on. 3.
Yeah, because 7 and 9 killed that girl. What's her name?
Oh.
Vajayjay.
Vajazzle.
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 Vajazzle. I don't count those as murders. If you're an evil person who's killed innocent people, it's okay to kill you.
Okay, so it's fine to kill Vajazzle and it's fine to kill Narissa, but it's not cool to kill Maddox.
We didn't really get.
Maddox,
and it's probably not cool to kill a random Romulan senator either. I'll know her.
Yeah, correct.
Agreed.
But again, I think the show's just kind of gonna forget about that happening. Actually,
I think you're right. It's character building. It's character building. Yeah.
It would have been funny if, like, at the very end of the show, they're all like staying there side by side and getting ready to go, and Picard goes, "You know, you're still going to prison."
I would love that. I would love that.
Hilarious.
And then she gets like this, "Oh shit!" And then they take off. Like,
And then she looks and she's like, "But he did it too, and so did she. Here they go to prison. Like, but if I do, well, but they did it too.
Yeah.
Like, you just see this, like,
yep, they're all going to prison, guys. Like, I'm not that close to it. We've been,
I've only known you a
for
couple weeks,
so.
dude.
or
Going
like
to prison.
before he says engage and like they go, he kind of stops and everything stops. The music stops, everything, and he just looks around and goes, "For God's sake, please don't kill any more people."
Yeah.
Okay. Engage.
No more murdering.
Yeah.
I promise I will not kill anyone.
If my friends find out I'm hanging out with you guys,
Womp womp.
they will not be cool with this.
So I guess my question was, and we can't answer it because we don't remember the uniforms, whether or not they're officially Starfleet again.
I'm looking at a screenshot right now. They're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be
Although-
super cool, though. I would
although-
love that.
That should have happened at the end. Like, all right, guys, we just showed up at like an event that almost started a galactic war. We were at a site of people that can have a galaxy wipeout. We're leaving. Like,
Well, I
several
mean,
ships
my
in
next
orbit.
question was, what do you hope is happening next season? So, Keith?
They should have several ships in orbit. They should be joining the crew on Frakes on the flagship. Like, so what we're going to do about this? That is what should be happening. But instead, they all left, and now Picard gets his Firefly crew, and you're like, ugh.
I see where you're coming from, but also I'm happy to treat this season as a bad dream. And move on. Just like you
In
never want to
program.
bring up any of that plot again. I'm fine with that.
In program.
Oh, yeah.
It was Picard on the
I don't
holodeck.
know, like, part of me, this is a pipe dream, and this is just me flying off the cuff, but
Good. I said, what do you hope
Yeah,
for, not
yeah.
what do you think is going to happen.
so wouldn't Section 31 be a pretty cool fit for this crew?
How so?
Well,
think
Agnes
about it.
did say she's a great secret agent.
Right.
Which I disagree
Well, 'cause
with,
think
but
about it. Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah, same.
But think about it. So Section 31 operates in the gray areas, right?
right.
And this crew obviously operates in gray areas with all the murdering they've done.
Well,
Yeah.
So, and Picard is now a Sith. So it's like, he's like, all right,
But
let's
since
go.
they're legal now, it's fine.
Yeah. No, I know. But
If we make sense legal, they'll never come to destroy us all. It's fine.
sure.
there you go. Yeah, totally cool. Yeah, let me just sign this paper and everything will be
Picard.
fixed.
No longer has a bulletproof
Yeah.
heart.
Well,
That's
yes
true.
and no. Well, he no longer has a heart that had a. Well, yeah.
I like how this
Now it's
golem has
stabbing,
the
but-
ability to just like imprint the face of whoever's brain gets put into it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And well, I don't know. Do we know that that's exactly what happened? Because we don't.
Nah, I mean, they could have replicated his skin on top of it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, because
That sounds gross.
Yeah.
Very messy.
Because I mean, how did they graft like the skin on the other androids? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
you know, but nonetheless, I think it'd be cool if they, because I think it'd be cool if they operated in kind of a secretive Section 31. Hey, let's do the missions that Starfleet can't necessarily officially do, but we're not Starfleet, even though we work closely with Starfleet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, kind of like Firefly.
Hey, wait, no, in Firefly they're going up against the government.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's right. I just want to be Jane Cobb. I just want to be Jane.
I see. Michael,
Yeah, I actually,
what are you hoping for?
what I'm hoping for is Keith and Sabrina. You probably punch me in the face for this, but no, I would actually not mind. I would actually not mind to turn into like a Firefly. I'd love it to be more episodic, obviously, but
Yeah.
I do want it to
Why,
be
you
episodic.
know
Yeah.
good.
I mean, I would love to see them going around, helping people out and taking names, kicking ass, that type of thing.
I wouldn't describe that as Firefly, just episodic.
Yeah.
You want them to be on their ship and hang around and go help people?
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
And speaking of the helping people thing, I mean, wouldn't it be cool to see?
I just don't want it to be like Westerns.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay, what?
Oh no, wouldn't it be cool though if if Picard used this to be kind of a redemption for the Romulans? You know what I'm saying?
How so?
Yes, if the next
Yeah.
season actually dealt with the Romulan thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, we saw how he was there all the time when Elnor was a kid, and he was a big deal, and then he went to the planet, and Romulans only, and he almost got killed, and the big contrast between how it used to be with Romulans after the planet blew up, and then now. But wouldn't it be cool to see him kind of build that bridge again and build that confidence and build the Romulan lifestyles back to kind of where they were, to more of the. I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said about the relationship and the fallout of his Romulan relationship.
Yeah.
And I think because I mean he was there with Spock during the unification. I mean he's a big deal in Romulan and Vulcan culture.
Yeah.
They went into those stories and actually had him trying to reunify just the Romulans with themselves and back to the old ways. I mean, it'd be pretty powerful,
Yeah.
I would like to see some work done.
I'm not sure I trust them with the scope of that story that you
I
described.
know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why we need to write it. That's why we're going to write it.
Oh,
There
yeah,
you
of course. Yeah, I'm not sure that that's even going to be brought up again.
go. I know.
But maybe it's because they literally have no idea if they're even going to get a second season, as Keith said. So,
Yeah.
I predict,
Ladies and
This,
gentlemen, the
Crisis,
biggest
unfortunately,
survival
He's
in the world. Star
end of this version of Star Trek.
perhaps, I know that CBS's plan was to make it, like an extended universe with shows and movies and stuff, so they could do the Marvel, Disney kind of format. That was their effort at that, so I don't know if it's going to die that easily. But it might also devolve into, anything that protects the brand. Nobody quite understands
think that we'll
branding
get-
like Disney, though, so I don't know. CBS, we'll see.
I think we'll get the end of Discovery, and then since the production's what I've been seeing.
All productions
if
have halted
you guys
right now
care
because
about-
quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what I like looking at the business end of
Yeah.
it and see how things work. And the reason why we kept on seeing so many announcements of Section 31 show and this and that and whatever is that they want to keep that money tied up in their brand so it keeps going, so that it's not financially safe for them to cancel it because they have this money tied into all these sets that they've already made, so they keep it going. But if they have to shut everything down, then that stops the money train, and then they can reboot if they want.
Can I add real quickly
Good point.
one of my hopes for season 2? I hope that we see Zhaban and Laris again.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I would
I
love
hope they
that.
become part of the crew.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Security.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't believe we just ditched them after 2 episodes.
Yeah.
What was
I
that?
know. And all they're doing is making
They should have been on the crew.
wine, not saving the universe. Come on. Man, save the universe.
Yeah, what are they doing? Just putting around making wine right now? What's going on?
Wine can wait. Wine will be
Picard
later.
left the wine behind. You can leave the wine behind.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right.
And they're agents
Oh,
first
yeah,
and
they kick
foremost.
ass.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have to come back to Earth
But
so we can watch them
whatever.
kick ass.
And
All
we
right.
need that the love scene between the three of them. So
I'd watch
yeah.
that, sure.
Oh yeah.
oh, I
that's
know.
how
Me too.
that would be the first scene of the
would be
second
awesome.
season.
Yeah, it's just that Picard
Oh my
comes
God, I would
home
love
and they're
that.
like, something seems different about you, and he's like, it's my new android body, check it
I'm
out.
fully functional.
And then hold on, I was gonna say, and then everything
functional.
gets quiet, and he looks and goes fully functional.
Fully functional.
Turns to the camera and winks.
All right,
Okay.
well, we changed the rating on this real fast. All right,
Programmed in various techniques. Oh, sorry.
wow, that's pretty much all I had to say about the episode. Anybody else?
Yeah, last thing. I mean, the thing that was the icing on the entire cake, and I'm sure Jay will agree with me, and I got goosebumps when the last thing he said was engage. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I know that's total fan service, but I can't get enough of it. I love it.
Oh, he said it. He said
the thing.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, I'm sorry. The show punched you in your happy feels? How dare it?
Yeah.
How dare it? I know.
Damn
well,
it.
What was so funny is how everyone just looks over at him.
Yeah, I love
like
that.
everyone just like
Yeah, they're
looks
like, all right,
over,
we know you want to do the
like,
thing. Just do the thing.
We're not going to say it. We're not going to do it until you say it.
Yeah.
And everyone just looks over at him.
Oh, yeah, the feels.
Love it. I love it.
Those are all. Yep, that is all my notes.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
All right. Well, next week we'll talk about the season arc in its completion, about the whole season. And then the week after that, we'll finally have that What is Star Trek to You discussion. If it turns into a knockdown, drag-out fight, I'm not separating y'all.
It's like you're
Should
lucky.
already be in
That's good
different rooms.
entertainment.
You're lucky there's a
Good
pandemic.
entertainment, So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And I'm gonna have to do some homework too, just listening to all of our episodes and figure out everybody's theories, so I can figure out what's going on there. I think we all lost.
I called Picard dying.
But he didn't actually die though.
He did die, actually. Even Data said it on the screen. Data said it.
Okay.
He said no.
I don't want to talk about this.
Sabrina,
I don't want to talk about this.
he did die.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
I am just saying. That's all
I
I'm
can't
doing.
hear you. I can't hear you. I'm not
Okay,
listening. La, la, la,
I
la,
will
la.
give you points for they killed Picard. They cheated. They cheated themselves, and by doing that, they cheated me. I guess they didn't cheat you guys. That's fine. Just enjoy it. Just don't think so hard about it. Just like
I
it.
wouldn't say. I wouldn't say that. I was definitely. They definitely cheated. There's no ways around that. They cheated so hard.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah.
Thank you for acknowledging my feelings, Keith.
No. I acknowledge that you are correct, and that is the fact.
Thank you for acknowledging my facts, Keith.
Word.
Okay. Cool. It's fine. That's next week. That's the week after. I don't know when I'm going to do theories. Maybe that'll be the week after that. I'll give myself time to listen to those hours of us rambling about Picard. What's up?
I know we're still in the planning stages, but we should probably throw it out there that we're planning on having a recording where people can call in and ask questions, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Whether it's in Discord or not.
On the Discord, if you guys want to start like giving us questions or thoughts that you had that you want us to discuss, if there's like something in particular you're curious about, like I don't know.
Yeah.
What Jay's favorite food is, that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, non-Star Trek stuff is totally fine
It can
too.
be
I
anything.
mean,
Yeah, anything. Yeah, but
we're real people. We're
exactly.
interested in some things beyond Star Trek, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. But no, it's I think it'd be fun to have some interactive like questions or even have people pop in the chat. I don't
Absolutely,
know. But
yeah.
it'd be a lot of fun to like bring the community in and just have fun as a community. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep. I'm looking forward to it.
So we'll probably put the plotting stuff for that in the Discord, and then
Yeah.
Once we decide more specifically on like when, what time, like how we're gonna do it, because we're still trying to figure out the logistics. But yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So y'all can look forward to that. We will look forward to that for sure.
Absolutely.
As always, you can find us on Twitter at four hosts, and there will be a link to the Discord in that, right?
Yep, there will.
Michael?
Yep.
Excellent. Therefore, you can find us in the Discord. Please find us at Pop Geeks, where you can leave comments and we can argue back and forth about Star Trek all day long.
All right.
Or on YouTube, you can just look us up, or there4hosts.com.
Yep. We're
You
everywhere.
can get some t-shirts at wherever the t-shirts are.
Yep.
Yay.
Search the names you
Buy
hear
a
us
t-shirt.
say online, and you will find us somewhere on the cybernet.
Somewhere, somehow, through some means. All right,
And remember,
do it.
keep looking up. Yay! Until the next Cool.
All right.
It was great
Yeah.
talking to you guys about
Yeah.
this. I'll talk to you guys next
Yep, later.
episode.
Yep, looking forward
And thanks
to
for
it.
listening, everybody.
Thanks,
Woo!
everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
On the other side.